I mean, first of all, you have such a huge career, the ups and the downs, and you're a Dallas legend. But like one of those things that you don't know until you like go to Wikipedia is a founder of Death Row Records. What was that process like from the beginnings of it to being in the middle of it to being pushed out, exit out, leaving out? I'm not really sure what the relationship is there.
That whole time period of my life was very volatile, to say the least. It was right after I had that accident. It was hard for me, for a 21-year-old kid who was on top of the world on Monday morning and lost it all Monday night. It was rough, to go from number one to number zero. But I had the wherewithal to want to continue. I never lost faith in myself. I never thought that I couldn't. I always thought my voice would come back, and so I kept working so that when that day came, I would be prepared to retake my place at the top of the game. But it never came. But Suge Knight was my friend, my bodyguard, kind of, when I was a young guy. And he had a lot of people that he knew. And I thought that we could build something of our own. And Dre thought that was a great idea. So we all decided to work together. But like I said, I was in a bad place and a lot of drinking, not water, and a lot of stuff that I had no business doing at that time just sustained me mentally. But I wasn't a good business partner. And I don't want to speak negatively about anybody. That's not the kind of guy I am. But some of those guys just weren't good guys and weren't the right people to be doing business with. And so, like you said, I kind of got pushed to the side. And rather than fighting that wave, for lack of a better way of putting it, I just rode with it, just waiting on my turn to come again. I figured if I fought too hard, then something a lot worse than losing your money could happen.
Well, I think there's enough media coverage of the people you're talking about. I would agree with that. Whether it be maybe you did miss out on millions and millions and millions and billions of dollars, but at least you're still alive.
That's right, brother. And I got 2 sons now. 8-year-old and a 10-year-old, and you can't put a price on that. They can have all of that because I got them. And I got an opportunity now, but I got this back to get all of that stuff. The material stuff doesn't matter as much as family does. And doing it in LA, kind of for LA, doesn't feel as good as being home and in a position to do it now for Dallas. That's where the whole idea of my school kind of came from, creating opportunities for those kids that come the spaces that I come from in this city to get access that most of us don't get. The truancy rate since COVID in the super block where I came from is almost 50%.
Wow.
That means the kids they've given up.
Yeah.
There's no hope. They don't want to go to school. And one of my reasons, or my reasoning is that the kids that are in sports, basketball, football, they're going to school. They're sitting in front of the class. They're getting 3.0 GPAs because they see their future in that ball. The kids that don't run so fast and jump so high, the kids that want to do what that guy's doing, they think they could just go do it on the street corner. And for some of them, that may be true, but there's also a lot of death and destruction out there that if you're not careful, you're going to catch a lot more of that than opportunity.
I think that's one of the coolest things about your program is it's tied to the truancy is tied to attendance. So in his and I'm not going to, I'll let you speak about it, but they want all these kids to be involved in the entertainment, the singing, the arts, the acting, etc. But price of admission is attendance to class.
Yeah.
And if you don't have attendance to class, you can't pay the price to admission. Is that
right.
Is that about sum it up?
Exactly right. From my perspective, and I'm just giving kids what I didn't get, what I didn't have. What made me run to California to try to make it is that these opportunities I'm trying to give these kids didn't exist. I had to chase it. Thank God I caught it, but now I want to give that back. And so in order to receive these opportunities, you got to have your butt in school, and doing well in school. And then I will give you every piece of opportunity that I can get my hands on. I will go and stomp the yard in places like this to find opportunity for you to make commerce and to show this world who you really are. Because these kids, they only want what we want. They want some money, and they want to be seen, and they want to be heard, They don't know the power that they have inside them. They get sidetracked by watching television and thinking television is real life, but it's not. There's such thing as responsibility and honor and courage that you don't get from television. You get sex and violence and drugs, and for those kids, that's cool. But I've come on to put a new spin on cool. This is cool. What we're doing is pretty damn cool.
Yeah.
And I want them to want to do this rather than those other things.